We have been focusing on macroplastic objects that we encounter every day, at home or at work. And macroplastic products contribute significantly to the problem of microplastics in the environment. Especially when these macroplastic products become a waste and, under various physicochemical processes, begin to form polymeric materials in micro size. In this case, we talk about the formation of secondary microplastics. In this video, however, we focus more on primary microplastics, which are made intentionally in dimensions of less than 5 mm. They are often used in personal care products or as raw material, as an additive in the industrial production of some other products. When I researched the field of microplastics in the broader household, I found that there are a considerable number of these products to which a polymer material of this size is intentionally added. I think as many as 130 different synthetic polymers were being added. However, if we investigate more specifically polymeric materials' chemical and physical properties, there are significantly more of these structural variants. But still, the definition of the criteria that define microplastics play a considerable role in what we consider microplastics in our study. I then decided to proceed primarily from a report from the European Commission. From 2015 to 2017, a considerable number of studies and data were collected from the field of intentionally used and added microplastics. We can then divide these products, which contain microplastics, into 10 rough categories. These are, for example, cosmetics, personal care products, detergents, and cleaners. A large group also includes paints, coatings, inks and toners, and industrial abrasives. Intentionally added microplastics are also found in agriculture, pharmacy, wastewater treatment, technological processes in construction, and other areas where this is less visible. The criterion chosen by the European Commission for the definition of microplastics is that microplastics are composed of artificial plastics. So synthetic polymers are the basis. A significant part of the definition is that these particles are insoluble in water and are solid. The size of these particles is less than 5 mm. Nanoparticles can also be placed in this category. Why am I mentioning this now? Because only solid, water-insoluble particles are defined here. However, we have quite a few water-soluble polymeric materials often used in various fields. It is currently uncertain whether the criteria for microplastics are met in such cases. You all probably know polyethylene glycols, which are water-soluble polymers, then polyvinyl alcohol. Suppose we look at the tablets for the dishwasher, which are wrapped in a fragile foil, which then decomposes or is soluble in the water. This one is mainly made of polyvinyl alcohol. These are examples of polymers that do not meet all these criteria but still can be defined as microplastics. We will, therefore, also talk about these water-soluble polymers below because I think they are also vital. Here I have listed the most used polymer materials that are intentionally added. The European Commission then decided to look at those materials that are most used and potentially the most dangerous. These are polyethylene, polymethyl methacrylate, polyamide or nylon, polyurethane, and styrene acrylic polymers. I believe that these names do not mean much to many people, but you can still recognize them by their abbreviations. Why are these 5 polymers most researched? Mainly polyethylene and polyurethane because they have a very high market share. So, the materials that contain polyethylene and polyurethane are massive because even the applications in which they are used are numerous. Somehow 3 to 4 categories. Polyethylene chemically has reactive functional groups, that is, some chemical groups with low concern. It does not show any great concern, so it is a less dangerous polymer. However, if we look at polyurethane, these reactive functional groups are very worrying in their structure, making it one of the more hazardous polymers. Polymethyl methacrylate has also been studied because it is very commonly used and has functional groups of high concern. What does that mean? Being a high level of concern means that it has some parts in its structure, atoms that have a very high potential to continue to react chemically. If we look at it chemically or a little more generally, polyurethane or polymethyl methacrylate in a mixture with some other chemical can also trigger unwanted chemical reactions. Polyamide, That is, nylon also has many applications. It has a medium level of concern when it comes to chemical structure. The styrene acrylic copolymer is very similar to polyurethane. You see that the size of microplastic particles differs little, but we always speak in dimensions in micrometers, which means less than 5 millimeters.